kebab is a classic Turkish street food which became super popular here in Germany. I live in a small village and I think we've got like 4 döner kebab restaurants here. And that's what we're gonna make today. Döner kebab, but vegan, with a fluffy flatbread, with a garlic sauce, with meaty mushrooms, fresh veggies. Let's go. Our super soft and fluffy flatbread, because one of the worst things that can happen to a döner is a dry flatbread, and we won't make dry flatbreads. First, mix together some lukewarm water, instant yeast, you can also use fresh yeast, and sugar to help the yeast. Stir, and once it's fully combined, you can set it aside for a few minutes. Then grab a big bowl, to which we add all-purpose or wheat flour. A little bit salt. Important that you don't immediately mix the salt with the yeast, because the salt sort of kills the yeast. And the result would be sad and flat flatbreads. Right before adding the wet to the dry mixture, stir in 1 tablespoon of olive oil and pour that in while stirring. Mix until it forms a dough, and then use your hands to knead it for around 5 to 7 minutes. Now you will have a slightly sticky but soft dough. Then cover it with a kitchen towel and let it rest for 1 to 2 hours. The dough has risen. Now I will punch it down and plop it on the working surface. Cut the dough into 6 equal-sized pieces and shape them into little balls. Then slightly flour a working surface and place them on there. Cover and let them rest again for 30 minutes to make them really fluffy. 30 minutes are over, so you can take a rolling pin and flatten your balls a little bit, but don't roll them out too flat. They should look like this. Place them on a baking tray and bake them for around 5 minutes. Yes, only a few minutes are enough. After baking, our soft flatbread is done, and just appreciate how fluffy they are. Next up, we'll make the actual kebab, which is this huge skewer with meat. They use either lamb or beef, or nowadays even chicken, but I'm not going to use meat, obviously. I will use mushrooms. You can use whatever mushrooms you like the most. I've got here some really big champions. And put them in a large baking tray. To get some flavor in here, I will add a bunch of spices. We've got here a little bit of sugar, salt, smoked paprika, dried thyme and oregano, cumin and garlic powder. And put that over here. Add 3 tablespoons vinegar and 2 tablespoons soy sauce for that umami flavor. And then give it a shake. After shaking, marinate it for at least 1 hour. The mushrooms are marinated and smell really good, so it's time to put them on a skewer. I'm using this metal skewer. If you're using a wooden skewer, please put it in water for 10 to 15 minutes before using, because otherwise it will burn in the oven. Then take your mushrooms and skew them up all the way up. I've put half an onion at the end of my skewer, just because it adds a little bit more flavor and stabilizes the whole skewer a little bit more. And then we can roast it in the oven. Then you will need a very sharp knife to cut down the mushrooms, just like you would cut down a kebab skewer. And here are our meaty mushrooms. Fluffy flatbread, check. Meaty mushrooms, check. Let's make the garlic sauce. For that, I first finely chop some fresh parsley and 1 clove of garlic. And when I say 1, I mean 3. Or as much as you want. Then add the finely chopped garlic and parsley to unsweetened vegan yogurt. I prefer soy yogurt, but you can use any kind of vegan yogurt. Finish with some salt, a pinch of sugar, chili flakes, a glug of olive oil and fresh lemon juice. Give that some whiskey business, and here we go. This is our garlic sauce. At last, I prepared my fresh veggies. For that, I finely chopped up a cucumber. By the way, this is from our garden. Some green lettuce, tomato and red onion. But you can use any veggies of your choice. These are my personal preferences. Woohoo! Everything's ready. So it's time for the most fun part of this recipe, the assembling. For that, I cut open one of my flatbreads and add sauce to both sides. Never too much sauce. Then fill it with your fresh veggies, the meaty mushrooms, and optionally some chili powder. Just look at it. That's so good. Wow. Oh my god. If you want to remake this, you'll find the full written recipe in the bio as usual. And if you like this video, you can like it, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. And yeah, I wish you a lovely day. See you next week.